A judge has just sanctioned the release of a 2-year-old police video that shows the shooting of an unarmed man in Los Angeles by the name of Ricardo Diaz Zeferino. Now, this entire situation started back in 2013 when Zeferino found out that his brother's bike was stolen. They alerted the authorities about the stolen bike, but unfortunately, the 911 dispatcher gave the cops incorrect information. The dispatcher told cops that there was a robbery at the store where the bike was stolen. And so when police showed up, there was unfortunately a lot of paranoia and a lot of worry that there would be armed individuals. Nonetheless, the video shows that Zeferino didn't do anything wrong. He was told to put his hands up. He did put his hands up. Unfortunately, at one point, he took his cap off, and that was all it took for police to start shooting. He died as a result, and the person who was there with him was also shot, but miraculously survived. We have the video for you guys, which is important to see, and of course this is a police brutality story, but I think the bigger issue here is the fact that it literally took 2 years to get our hands on this video. Take a look.
All right, a couple of issues here. Number one, first of all, they didn't steal the bike. Gee, I wonder why they made the assumption that they were the ones who were guilty.
They're the ones who wanted authorities to help them look for the bike. It was his brother's bike that was stolen.
I don't know. When they come, they don't see victims. They see people who look different, and they assume are the perpetrators. Okay, fine. Put that aside. Number two, much more importantly, what else could the kid have done? He had his hands up. They said, put your hands up. He's like, oh, okay, I'll put them up again. Okay. He took his hat off, reaching for his waist. Now, okay, come on. You saw the video. Now, do you think, let's think this through, okay, that the guy, let's assume that he thought he had a weapon, which, of course, by the way, afterwards they knew he didn't have a weapon. He didn't have a weapon. Of course not, right? That he was going to somehow reach where because they couldn't see a weapon, that he was going to reach underneath his shirt in that split second, grab a gun, and shoot how many different cops around there? Like go boom, 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 like in the movie? He was going to do that over a stolen bike. Like that was your real assumption? That's what you were worried about? There was no way that was going to happen. There was no way that was going to happen, okay? No, you know what it is? It's not that they wanted to shoot the guy. No, I hope to God they're not that malicious, right? No, it's that, as we've talked about 1,000 times on the show, right? Ready to go. Like
it's the paranoia.
It's they're going to kill me. I got trained that I never, ever, ever take a risk with my life. I mean, I got 3 kids with their hands up that called it in the first place, and there's no way that guy's going to pull a gun and shoot all 3 of us as we have a gun like this on him, right? But I'm not going to take 1% of 1% of 1% chance that it might happen. I mean, I'd rather murder that guy dead cold in the street than worry about it, because I'm not taking that chance. Better than an innocent person dies than I take the chance I might be grazed while arresting him.
Right, so these cops already had their guns drawn, as you can see in the video. They're ready to shoot. And the thing is, even if you genuinely believe that this man is armed and that he poses an imminent threat to you, at least give it a second. Just give it a second to see if he actually has a gun. Because if he's reaching for his gun, right, he's got to pull it out and he's got to get it ready to shoot and kill you. But they don't even wait to see if he has a gun. They can't wait to fire their weapons, right? That's exactly what happened here. And the amazing thing about this is, and maybe it shouldn't be amazing because we see the story over and over again playing out throughout the entire country, the prosecutors didn't see anything wrong with what happened. There was a civil lawsuit, and there was a settlement as a result of that civil lawsuit. So, according to the Associated Press, the judge in this case, the one who agreed to release the video, Stephen V. Wilson, unsealed the video so the public could see what led to the city of Gardena, that's a city in Los Angeles, to pay $4.7 million to settle a lawsuit with Diaz Zeferino's family and another man wounded in the shooting that followed a botched report of a bicycle theft early the morning of June 2nd, 2013.
So why did you hide it for 2 years? If the prosecutors are right and the cops are right, that they say, oh, no, we're sure that it was a perfectly good shooting. Well, if it's a perfectly good shooting, then I'm sure you don't mind us seeing the video. Except that you mind us seeing the video greatly because you know what it shows us.
Exactly.
We're not fucking blind.
And here's another issue. Officials were able to view that video prior to filing their version of the events.
The cops got to see it. The cop who did the shooting gets to review the video before he gives his official testimony. Now, which other defendant gets to do that? Do they pull in a guy off the streets and they're like, hey, you're charged with a crime, but let me show you all the evidence first so you can formulate your defense?
Exactly.
No, the cops get different rules. They get different. They're above the law. They shoot you dead in the street because they're cowards. Okay, look, their training is wrong. I've said this 1,000 times. They're not more evil, etc. Right? And I've gotten in debates over that. The training is be a coward. Be a coward. Don't wait to see the gun. If you wait to see the gun, you've taken a 1% chance. Never take a 1% chance. It's 1,000 times better that you murder someone innocent than you take 1% chance with your life. That is the training. You know that's the training. Michael Wood, former Baltimore cop on the show, talked about it. We don't take any chances. We shoot first. We ask questions later. Just, okay, watch the interview if you don't believe me. But it's obvious. It's obvious. But furthermore, and Michael Wood talked about this. He said, look, actually the guys that were in the military were the ones that were least likely to fire because we had gotten proper training about what is a real threat. Right, guys that were gotten just the police training are told to be afraid of everything. So you're telling me that that guy is brave? They always like, oh, we got a tough job. We got a tough job. I mean, it's so tough. I mean, if a guy's got his hands raised and drops them for a millisecond as he's asking you, what do you want me to do with my hands? No, you just shoot him dead. It's such a tough job. Such a tough job. If you're not a coward, then what are you? Like, they're going to get so mad over that they're going to want to shoot me. Because that's the brave thing to do, right? That's the brave thing, right? Where's the bravery? You didn't see a gun. There wasn't a gun. You didn't bother to see if there was a gun. You'd rather take somebody else's life because you're so scared. I know, now you hate me, right? But that's the facts, and you saw it with your own eyes. And the reason you don't like me is because you know that's true. God damn it, man. Another guy fucking murdered in the streets. Biggest gang in America. Imagine if there was a gang that didn't have badges that would go around and pick fights with people and then say, hey, they disrespected me. They disrespected me. They didn't follow my orders. They're supposed to follow my orders, right? And they didn't, so I shot them dead in the street. Okay? Yeah. It'd be the most brutal gang there is. Oh, no, but they were called in. Yeah, they were called in by those guys because their brother's bike got stolen. I mean, it was somebody else on the phone that called it in as they were looking for the bike, right? Yes. But it doesn't matter when they show up. That guy's not white. He's guilty. Guilty.
He probably stole the bike, even though he doesn't have a bike. But just one more point about, the video not being released until 2 years later. Cops make the argument that the reason why they want that is because they want to protect people's privacy, and they think privacy is more important than transparency. No. Here's what's more important to everyone, okay? Figuring out whether or not there was wrongdoing on the police official's part. And when you look at that video, you see that there was wrongdoing. And maybe if that video came out 2 years ago, there'd be enough of a public outcry that the prosecutor would think twice about whether or not those actions were warranted. But another thing is, these people are not private contractors that are getting paid by some private entity. They're people that are getting paid by our tax dollars. So we should have absolute transparency. We should have the ability to see any video we want to see, any police report we want to see, any document that we want to see that pertains to things like this.
You know what was more important than your privacy after you murdered the kid? Was Ricardo's life. You took his life. You didn't think twice about it, okay? And so now you're talking to me about your precious fucking privacy? You're a police officer who we pay with our taxes. When you murder someone, you don't have privacy rights over that. You did it in a public street where it was being recorded, and you did it while being paid by us, and we gave you the badge, we gave you the gun. You don't have privacy rights to murder people in private. You don't have that right. That's not a right that exists, okay? And by the way, you're taking it out of context. Look, release every video you have. Great. We'll watch an hour ahead of time. We'll watch an hour after the shooting, okay? Give us all the context. There is no other context. Oh, well, the dispatcher said it might be a dangerous situation. It might be a dangerous situation, so I just shot the first guy that I saw. Oh, okay. I'm glad that you have such a tough job.